Hello everyone, Janna is here, back for another stream for you guys to see what is going on right now on the market and what the possible entry points, okay? And unfortunately the last night stream stopped, no idea what happened, but the EA was on, the computer was on, so I had some trades with the automatic system. So just want to show again what we had through the day, what the results. The sum should have been from the previous day. The sum trade should have been from the 25th, remember, and the rest was through the night. So we have one was a losing trade, was recovered, then we had more trades, quite a lot of trades, look, and another losing trade. So looks like really good through the Asian session, and right now the one of the trades is still in the recovery. Okay, so that's the automatic. And okay, so I also had the trade from the one I sent to you last night, and I think that one was so one of the trades was recovering, so that was the losing trade in here. And it's also been recovered, so because this looks like a pin, and that was the nice channel. That's what I was telling you guys. If you notice that quite often through the Asian session we have false breakouts, those pins, and then the market returns, and you see it's continued the way up. So exactly where I was expecting all these levels. These are the new ones I have just placed, just to look for the new possible entry points. So you see, it didn't have those ones last night. I was showing that it was not possible to place them yet, except yes, I was trying to put like these previous ones, like those tops, but it would be incorrect of doing it. So now, because we need, you see, is we are expecting a correction of that move down, so then we need one bottom and we need another bottom, right? And we need at least one top and two bottoms to turn it around, or two tops and one bottom to turn the other way. And at this moment we can see that the bottom is still hasn't been created. We have the spin, but there is not a bottom, which means a possible of this movement. You see, that's why it's stopping right now at those levels, which I pointed out for you guys, as we do have a downtrend. Okay, so on a bigger one, I want to show you is where that level came from, right? That's right now where the market is sitting at this moment. It's from that creation, and it looks like, yes, we have here head and shoulders, right? So it's created as a shoulder, a possible, and of course the still at this point the possibility of continuation of going up, but this pin is still, I would still possibly expecting to go down first, maybe back to 2360. You know, it's not completely the pin, it might just fill in halfway through, so that's why it might still go back 2360, a little bit further, a little bit higher, and then turn around. And that's the main scenario of movement at this moment. My expectation would be, okay. And of course at the same time, if it will go down and might break 2360 further, then of course I would say quite possible that it would decide to go further. We have still 2350, it might still be stopped by 2350, right? So if it will go a little bit further and stays inside another channel, but taking the previous low, because this wasn't really exactly the bottom, right? So that's why it might still go a little bit further down, 2350, maybe a little bit lower, still inside this other channel we have. That's why I have so many levels, because they all can be a good indication of return, reverse, or continuation. Okay, so that's why they're useful. You need them, really. You need all those levels. So yeah, at this moment, let's see what we can do and where I'm going to place the orders, right? So I'm going to leave this channel because this channel might also, I can put it like this, but it's not going to be correct. Again, it's not going to be correct. This is the only, could be correct for breakout point. To see breakout point, you see I have this level around 2370, and for example this, so that's a possible breakout point for going lower. Okay, but it is not our channel expecting the continuation of going up from here. It still can do, it still might, but you see, because it didn't create us really nice leg, another little bottom in here to connect it, it's not, I wouldn't say it's confirmed to continue, for me to continue the correction. Even though, yes, head and shoulders, this also looks like a bullish flag now, little bullish flag, but also this W formation. That's quite interesting. The W formation is very often is, you know, so continue, like create a W, so, and then go down. So that's what quite possibly that also another possibility. So as for that, again, don't want to think too much, and I would place my orders. You see, that's 2370, a little bit here, and for the buy is a bit complicated. You see, a little bit complicated for the buy. If it decide to, I could use these two tops, but you see the problem with this is that I had a bit of formation consolidation in here. Remember, I was telling you it's a little bit too wide, and that's why I used this level to catch that little move. You see, if I would have placed it a little bit higher, this would have been also losing trade. That's why it's quite important, plus minus. That's why with this one is also the same. If I would put it a little bit higher, then quite possible, if the market would decide to go a little bit higher to 2380 and then reverse, then it might not be enough to get 180 points. Well, actually it is enough. Well, it can, it might not, because I need, remember, always saying I need 4, 4, 4. So that shows as 4, 6. Slightly low is already 438, so that's not going to be enough. You see, that's why this one I might just go a little bit low, because I can see that this time the tops a little bit lower, and here the breakout point was also lower, and you see how many pins we have here. So that gives me the idea of where to placing the orders, okay, to be. And we don't want those false breakouts. If we would consider that was false breakout and return, or for example, you see that area was previously important, right? So the market came out, came back, gave us false breakout, then came back, gave another false breakout, came back. So from here now we can expect a good move. So basically, and once again, as from that false breakout it didn't go further down, or from that one didn't go further up, that means that it could be either way now. Either way, because you see after this one, the expectation to continue going up, but it started to slow down inside. That means from here we can expect both ways. So from here to 2380, we already can see that it's quite enough for the smaller profit. And if we decide to go further down instead, then for example that would be the level. So that's also roughly plus minus, should be enough to get the smaller profit. And if it will decide to take that pin and stay with that level, or if it's actually decided to go back 2360, it would be even bigger profit, but take profit could be, but it's 100 again, minus 2 for 4 roughly, it's it could be like extra 80 pips to go for it, but it's a little bit risky because it can be stopped by this level. And no major news today. There will be some red news we have in the calendar, but not as important as usually would. But remember, it's Friday, and Friday anything can happen. But at the same time, to be honest, if usually I would expect Friday to be a little bit more quiet, as we had previous Friday was very big move, and I think the other Friday was big move. That means this Friday it might be quiet, so it actually might just stick between 2360 and 2380. You see, it might just stay, might go further down there, then it might try to go back up or stay at 23.70. I think I would look at those levels, 80, 70, 60, and possible even 50 at this moment. And if of course it will be started to break out 80, then we have 90. So that's the kind of like a playing zone, I would say. That I would look at it. Okay, so you see that's quite nice this way, looking very nice, possible still breaking and going further down. I would be more towards a little bit of going further down. So basically then after, if it will create the low, then you can see where the low would be, and then of course that could be adjusted, so possibly it can be adjusted to, you know, this way, and again something like that first. Yeah, and that's what it could be. It can go something like this, and then, you know, go inside that channel before it will try to get somewhere higher. That's what I'm saying. It just depends how the day goes. You see, it's like expecting, is it going to be a big move, because last time it was such a drop for gold on Friday exactly. So expecting a big jump this Friday, up or down, probably not, but you never know. Okay, so, and of course, let's just see if that would be enough. That might be not enough, but that like break here and go just that little, which can take in a bad trade. But I wouldn't expect it this way, because we already had this breakout 23.70. That's why my expectation would be, if it will break it out, it should really go a little bit further down, you see. But it's gold, it can do whatever it wants. You see, can be something like this, can be something like this, and eventually can be something like this. It's all adjustable based on whatever it wants to do. Let's say it this way. So yeah, I might leave this one here. Well, okay, I'll leave it as a big one for now, because this one is also just I mean, I can still do it like this, but you see, even if I'll do it this, we still have 23.80, so it doesn't really matter if I will place this level or not. We still have this 23.80. Of course, if it will go further in a day, then it could be possible to see if it's going to break out 23.80 and where it might stop, because, you know, it might not break through straight away, right? So it might take this stop, that 23.80, and then again turn around, stop somewhere, and then, I mean, again, maybe in the same area, go further, and then have that. So that's why that level could be useful to see where the possible, if it will break 23.80, where it possibly could be stopping. Okay, so right now I'm just going to leave this one for now, and let's see what is going to happen. So this is one, this setup, as we can see it's slowing down in this area, and I'm going to send this one to Telegram channel. So hopefully it will all go to according to the plan. Okay, so stick to the plan. So yeah, and basically it's very slow, so it could be very slow, and that's the worst time is around my time is 11, 12ish. Usually is very slow until about 1, 2 opening of American session, of course. Again, as I'm telling you, Gibraltar time, so London time, it's about, what is it in London now, 10:45. So it's getting to next to closer to 11, 12 in London, where they probably all have a bit of a break from the early morning opening. So let's just yeah, I'm going to leave it as it is. Let's just hope that it's not going to do any false breakouts before the American session hits. So yeah, okay, so there will be again no volume, guys, until something else, because there is no point really to sit and watch it. Okay, so if you for example doing the same, you can, you know, place the alarms. I hope you all know how to do that. to place the alarms. It's a right click, and this alert. Well, okay, it's called alert. I call it alarm anyway. And that's what you can move, you know, where you want it. For example, you're expecting going to 2380 or wherever lower. If you want to, so you basically place it, and here's your alarm, and you can double click on it, and of course you can expiration change, timeout, how many seconds maximum it's going to bleep there, test it. There, I see, and well, that's how you don't need to sit at the screen. So you see when it started to break out, and as you can hear your alarm, you can run and see what is going on. So, and then of course we can remove it, right click and delete. Okay, so I don't often place these alarms because when I do actually trade properly, I see it by the screen quite a bit, but when I'm using, of course, EA, and I'm just in much what's going on, it just, that means, like, for example, now until like 12 for me, like about 12:31, I don't need to go and see, because that's expectation of not very much of the moving going on. I do prefer to look for those movements before opening of the markets. And also, not the markets, the sessions and closing of the sessions. And the news events, of course. Okay, so yeah, now I'm going to just leave it. And when I see something else going on, I will be back with more commentary, of course, which I will try to notify through the Telegram channel.